Reporting live from Duluth, Minnesota. My name is Father Mike Schmitz for Ascension presents Jesus. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. So, have you ever noticed that when some people go into church, walk into a Catholic church, and before they go into the pew, it looks like they kind of trip. They just kind of stutter step, and then they duck into the pew. And some people, they stop and they go down to their knee. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. The little trip thing it was probably an attempt at a genuflection. Sorry, sidebar, have you ever done this? Have you ever gone into a movie theater and you're Catholic and you accidentally genuflect before you go into the row? Yes, I have done that on accident. Back to our story. So, as you go into church, right, before you go into the pew, you usually genuflect. What's genuflection mean? That's a great question. It comes from two Latin words combined together, genu and flexion or something like this. One means knee, other means bend. It means to bend the knee, basically. So before you go as you go into church, before you go into the pew, we genuflect, bend the knee, towards the tabernacle, towards Jesus in the tabernacle. Now, if you're in one of those churches that doesn't have a tabernacle, but you have an altar right in the front, you would bow in that case because we bow to the altar as a symbol of Jesus. Eucharist is not a symbol of Jesus. Eucharist is Jesus, so we go, boom, all the way to the knee for that. Why did some people seem to trip and some people seem to actually know what they're doing? I think because some people don't know what they're doing. So what's the whole point behind genuflection? I'm saying something with my body to God in the tabernacle. I'm saying something with my body to Jesus in the Eucharist. What am I saying? I'm saying at least one of three things, maybe all three at the same time. Number one, genuflecting, bending that knee is an act of humility. It's saying okay, Jesus, in the Eucharist, you are God, I am not God. And we have the opportunity at that moment to go down to the knee, just like a person before their king, before their Lord, and saying, you are God, you're the Lord. And so when I take that knee in front of the tabernacle, what we're saying is, you're God, I'm not. It's a posture of humility. You're God, I'm not. But it's also a posture of action. It's a posture of committing yourself to the Lord's service. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, when knights would pledge their service to their king, what they would do is they would take a knee. They would genuflect, essentially, before the king, saying, I pledge my sword to you. And I think this is one of the cooler things. In the movie The Lord of the Rings, remember when they're at Rivendell? I'm totally geeking out right now. But when they're at Rivendell, and they discover, okay, we have this ring, we got to destroy it in Mordor, who's going to do it? And then Frodo says, well, I'll do it, although I don't know the way. I don't know how to get there. If he goes on his own, he's toast. Aragorn takes a knee in front of Frodo, and he says, if by my life or by my death I can help you to accomplish this task, then you have my sword. He takes that knee. So first is humility, right, before Jesus in the Eucharist. The second step is, I'm at your service. What you're saying when you genuflect on the way into church and then the way out of church is, Lord Jesus, if by my life or by my death, I can help you to accomplish the task, the mission you have of redeeming the world, of bringing light to darkness, of bringing hope to where people have no hope, of bringing healing to brokenness, then you have my life. So one is, it's a movement of humility. Two, it's a movement of service. Three, it's a movement of love. Because think about this. In our culture, when would perchance a young man find himself upon one knee before the woman that he loves? Right? When he's proposing to her, when he's saying, would you accept me as your husband for the rest of your life? Will you give me the privilege, the honor, the duty of loving you for the rest of my life? And when you come into church and when you leave church, when you genuflect before Jesus in the Eucharist, that's what you're saying too. It's not only an act of humility and an act of service, it's an act of love. Jesus, I love you. Would you let me love you with my whole life? When you take that knee, what we're saying is, you're God and I'm not. What we're saying is, Jesus, if by my life or by my death I can help you to accomplish your mission of redeeming the world, just use me. And number three, Jesus, I love you. Let me love you with my whole life. So when we know what's going on behind these movements at Mass, it changes everything. We do the same motions, but it's no longer going through the motions. It's doing the motions with meaning. For all of us here at Ascension Presents, my name's Father Mike. God bless. So someone said the other day that I sound like a used car salesman on these, and I was like, that is rude and accurate. But I can't slow down when I'm talking because then it's like, hello, my name's Father Mike Schmitz. This is Ascension Presents. I don't want to put you to sleep, but you're going to go to sleep because I've got all this energy when I want to talk about things that mean something to me, but I can't let it go out because I can't start jumping around because I'll break the chair. I can't start waving my hands in the air because that'll just look really weird. So it's got to come out somehow, and I start talking faster. I just care. That's how much I care.